Bloons TD Battles 2 went from one of my favorite games of all time to something that I honestly can't stand anymore. For a bit of background on this, I had played the original BTD Battles game and ended up making this YouTube channel to sort of teach people some of the concepts that I learned from it that I felt made the original Battles game very fun, instead of just, you know, the best legal way to beat small children since the invention of Super Smash Bros. And for a while, I was really enjoying that, and I was making videos on how to get better at the game, and sort of grinding everything out alongside it, as, you know, everyone else was when the game first released. But even though I could stomach a lot of the issues that Battles 2 had on release, it feels like Ninja Kiwi has ended up going in a different direction with it than I expected, and it's one that I don't personally enjoy. And, you know, I can't blame them. The Steam numbers weren't great after release, and mobile is probably a lot more efficient, but when I had heard about Battles 2 having a ranked ladder, I assumed that Hall of Masters would be a lot more like League of Legends ranked or Overwatch or something. But instead, Hall of Masters kind of feels just like something to see, you know, who has played the most for that month, at least originally. And, you know, having a very good win rate was important, but the difference between, you know, being top 1, top 5, top 10, and like top 25 was basically more about how many games you played than it actually was just your pure win rate for a lot of cases. And I thought that kind of sucked. So I didn't play as much in Hall of Masters. But below Hall of Masters, you're basically just waiting until round 11 or round 13, and then sending a purple or rainbow rush. And so that's kind of a chore. And with getting kicked out of Hall of Masters every season, unless you're now within the top 100, that was just kind of boring. It means several hours of grinding just to get to Hall of Masters, where essentially every game is just waiting like 10 minutes and then sending a round 13 rush and immediately winning. Now, Ninja Kiwi has done a lot to update the game since then. I think a lot of things are genuinely very good. But there are still some issues for sure. A lot of the systems that kind of exist now within BTD Battles honestly just make it feel like a chore more than anything, and I don't personally enjoy it that much. For example, Hall of Masters, instead of being like League or Overwatch, something where it's about how often you play the game for a short period of time. And the most recent changes to it have turned that from a roughly monthly ordeal to more of a weekly one. So if you're not playing Bloons for a week, you're going to derank, and then suddenly you have to go through an annoying grind again. For a while, events were the best way to get monkey money, and that's necessary for unlocking heroes. But again, it's something where you just have to grind out a bunch of games that are going to be stops against someone who's, you know, not as familiar with the game every week. There's the whole cosmetic seasons, and that was something that I really, for a while, felt like trying to collect all the cosmetics. But again, it's just a system for grinding out a ton of games and doing some challenges in order to unlock things. And when you add all of these different progression systems, over time, it just feels like playing the game is more of a chore to keep up with everything that you have to do that week to make sure that you unlock everything. And at this point, even though a lot of people complained about the XP system that was originally in the game when it launched, I think that while a lot of parts of the grind have been fixed, it's ironically gotten a bit worse in many ways. Originally, people complained that it took way too long to unlock all of the different towers and unlocks, since Ninja Kiwi just kind of copied the numbers for BTD 6 on how much XP was required to unlock every single tier for all of your towers. And naturally, that's not the most engaging thing ever. But at least there, it felt like just naturally playing the game kind of made progress. And ironically, I feel like the grind has gotten even worse now, even though unlocking your towers is no longer an issue. I have over 500 hours in Battles 2 across all of my, across both Steam and mobile, I should say. And even despite that, it's going to take me a while of grinding out monkey money or just paying real life money in order to unlock all the new tower, or all the new heroes, and that's only going to get worse over time. At this point, it's impossible for me to get a lot of the old cosmetics, and, you know, for me to unlock a lot of the new ones is again going to require a lot of grinding for new things. And so even though I have over 500 hours in Battles 2, it's still going to be dozens of hours before it feels like I'm actually able to play the real game again. And it just feels like a chore to me. It's boring. I don't want to grind out another 2 to 4 hours just to get to Hall of Masters, to then grind out a bunch of monkey money through different challenges for all the heroes, to then feel like I can start playing the game again, you know? And that just continuously happens. And during all this time, I feel like I kind of trapped myself, essentially. Because of how I originally made my channel, I sort of felt like I was obligated to continue making videos just about Battles 2 and covering all the topics that I wanted to. But there are honestly a lot of other games out there that I want to play. And there's a lot of other things I want to make YouTube videos on. And so I feel like now I'm kind of going in a bit of a different direction. And I'm quitting Battles 2 entirely and changing the identity of my channel completely in order to not feel like I'm trapped and I have to come back to Battles 2 to make those videos about things when I'm no longer enjoying the game. So as a result, like, moving forward, I think I'm definitely going to make more videos for BTD 6, a lot of other ones for other, you know, fun Steam games and stuff that I have in mind, or just kind of rambles. And, you know, I really enjoy making YouTube videos. I found, while doing this, that I enjoyed the process of, you know, recording and editing and everything a lot. And I want to continue to do that. But as you can probably tell from my upload schedule recently, I don't really play Battles 2 enough to do so, and I'm not going to continue doing that